With a few of my colleagues here, as you can see behind me, with Minister Clark, Minister Surma, Minister Mulrooney, MPPY, and I see His Worship, the Mayor Scarpitti, as well as Chair Emerson, and of course CEO of Infrastructure Ontario, Michael Lindsay, is also here with us. We're here to help deliver an important announcement for Ontarians, specifically those living right here in York Region. And I'm sure everyone here in attendance and Ontarians watching at home are aware of the housing crisis our province is currently in. It's difficult for new families coming to Ontario and existing ones living here to purchase a home and grow their families. However, with the recently passed More Homes for Everyone Act, this legislation would make it easier and faster for homes to be built right here in our province, and ultimately reduce the cost to buy a home. Today, I'm joined by Premier Ford, who will deliver an important news for the residents of York Region to help address the housing crisis in our area. With that said, I'd now like to welcome Premier Ford to the podium to deliver key details of this announcement and explain how this will benefit the residents living in York Region and all of Ontarians across our province. Thank you very much. Premier.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Michael. You and MPP Way continue to be huge advocates for the people of Richmond Hill, and I'm proud to have you both standing here today with us. I also want to welcome Mayor Scarpitti. He's been a true champion, and so is Chair Emerson. They both are doing an amazing job representing the people of Markham and York Region. Michael Lindsay from Infrastructure Ontario and Stephen Collins from Metrolinx. And acknowledge the team that has helped make today happen. So thank you to Minister Surma, Clark, and Mulrooney. My friends, our government is building Ontario. We're building roads, bridges, and highways. We're expanding subways and public transit. And we're constructing more homes, all for a growing province. And we're here today, once again, to reaffirm that there'll be a new subway connecting York Region, connecting this community and the others around it to the Toronto subway system. This is an investment that will bring new transit, new connectivity, and new opportunities to the great folks who live in York Region. A better transit connectivity means this community will continue to be served as it grows. But as Ontario grows, the housing crisis we face continues to get worse. It's a crisis decades in the making, ignored by previous governments who didn't have the courage to do what was needed. They talked, they asked for endless studies, they formed committee after committee, but they never got anything built. As a result of their continued inaction, there's not enough housing supply, not even close. As the population grows, demand for housing has never been greater, and prices have become out of reach for hardworking Ontarians. While other governments allowed this crisis to spiral out of control, our government is tackling it head on, because we know that the answer is to build more homes, so that families can have their choice of housing in the communities where they want to live. We're building more housing faster than before because Ontarians can't wait any longer. Last year, Ontario built over 100,000 new homes, the most built in over 35 years. But that's still not enough. We need to build more. So last week, our government announced new transit-oriented communities along the brand new Ontario Line subway. This partnership with the City of Toronto will create 55,000 jobs and close to 7,000 new homes. And today, we're announcing 2 more transit-oriented communities here in York Region, built along the Yonge North Subway extension. Together, these communities at the Future Bridge and high-tech stations will deliver 40,000 new homes and 19,000 new jobs, making a real impact on the crippling housing shortage here in York Region. And today, I'm pleased to be standing next to Mayor Scarpitti to say that there will be a 5th station. And folks, let me tell you something. Mayor Scarpitti gets all the kudos. He was instrumental in getting this 5th station, which is amazing. So thank you, Mayor Scarpitti. Thank you. And which has been made possible by the TOC program, Royal Orchard Station. This fifth station will serve the great people of Markham, Thornhill, and York region when added to our historic $28.5 billion investment in transit infrastructure, the largest transit investment in Canadian history. These transit-oriented communities form a crucial part of our plan to build Ontario for the future, and they will help bring the dream of home ownership closer to more Ontarians. These will be true communities with jobs, transit, and new homes, places where people can live, work, and raise a family. And at a time when our government is saying yes to building more homes near transit, we're also building desperately needed highways to ease congestion on GTA roads. That includes building Highway 413 for Brampton, Mississauga, and Vaughan, as well as building the Bradford Bypass. Others may tell you they have to choose between transit and highways. They'll give you all sorts of reasons why we shouldn't build more homes for this growing region. They'll find any reason to say no. Folks, that's not me, and that's not our government, because we're a government that gets it done. In 4 short years, our province has come so far together. Let's keep building. Let's build roads and highways to ease congestion. Let's build subways for a growing region, and let's put the dream of home ownership back in the reach for the hard-working women and men that call Ontario home. Friends, let's get it done. Thank you, and God bless the people of Ontario.
Okay, we're ready to take questions.
Okay.
If you have questions today, just form a line behind the microphone. Just a reminder, it's 1 question and 1 follow-up.
That brings down. Hi, Premier.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
There have been a lot of announcements by your government recently.
Yeah.
Why wait to this point? If these were important projects, why wait to right before the election to move on some of these things?
Well, you look at our announcement. Let's just use subways, the $28.5 billion. What everyone did, part of the team, and there's multiple people and mayors and regions all involved. We've done this in 3 years. It's nothing less than spectacular. The work they've done, they've been able to get shovels in the ground. You know, everyone talks about it. The previous governments, they talk. They set up committees after committee. They did study after study. But at the end of the day, they got nothing, absolutely nothing done. And we were facing a transit crisis. We're facing a housing crisis. And we're going to get shovels in the ground and make sure that we connect people from point A to point B on the highways and allow people to have a choice of more housing.
If, you know, those problems, I think you think were obvious when you took office in 2018.
Yeah.
So still, why did you wait until the eve of the election to start to repair those problems?
Well, we didn't. We started immediately. As soon as we took office, we put down a plan for transit, the largest infrastructure transit plan in North America. We started absolutely immediately. Now you're seeing, after the studies and environmental studies and collaboration with the municipalities, got 3 levels of government funding that no other government was able to do. We were able to get the funding from all 3 levels of government, and we ended up getting the boring machines. The boring machines are now boring right down in Eglinton, our announcement the other day. So it all takes a little bit of time, but at least we're getting it done, and we're building more homes, more roads, more highways, more subways than any government in the history of this country. How you doing, Jamie?
Good morning, Mr. Premier. I'm good, thank you very much.
Good.
Mr. Premier, ODSP, a long history going back to 95 when it was frozen, a small increase since then. We're looking at a top end at about $1,100 a month a person with a disability has to live on. Is there any plans for your government? You're spending a lot of money on hospitals and a lot of social services. Is there any plans in your government to increase ODSP payments?
Yeah, I think that's an opportunity to sit down and discuss. But the people that are unable to work for any reason, be it physically, mentally, I will always be there, Jamie, to support them. I have over the last 4 years. We're going to continue to do it. But the people that are able to work in any capacity at all, there's endless jobs in every sector. And the best way to help someone that is able to work is get them a job, and a good paying job, and that's what we're going to do.
And I understand that philosophy very well, but I'm just saying a person that can't work is trying to live on $1,100 a month, and that doesn't even get them a room rent right now.
Yeah, and I fully understand that, Jamie, and we're going to be there to support those folks that can't work as we have over the number of years.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Mr. Bruno. Thank you.
Hi, Premier.
Hi.
Christina, how are you?
How you doing? Good,
Good,
Christina.
nice to see you. Premier, does the province need a handgun ban, and is gun violence out of control, particularly in the city of Toronto?
I think, Christina, I've been very clear on my stance. We put $185 million in fighting gangs and guns. That's what we need to do, is continue to invest, support our police.
The year-to-date death total, according to Toronto Police, based on shootings, is the city's highest in the past 5 years. It's a 36% increase from the same time period in 2021. So is this plan you put forward, I mean, what impact is it having?
Well, I think it's having an impact with the police. Giving them the tools, $185 million is a lot of money. In saying that, we know where the guns are coming from. The police know where they're coming from. They're coming illegally across the border. And I'm the biggest fan of our customs officers. They're doing everything they can. They need support. But when we catch these people, it goes in front of a JP. They can't have a slap on the wrist, and you've seen it, everyone's seen it. In 2 days, these guys are running around on the streets. We need to work collaboratively with the federal government to toughen up any gun laws that we have.
So no handgun ban?
Again, we put $185 million to fight gangs and guns, and we're going to continue to invest in that.
This will be our final reporter.
Hi.
Hi.
Sue from CBC.
Hi, Sue.
On behalf of Mike Crawley and Megan Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
So just to follow up on the handgun ban, Del Duca's proposal yesterday, he said you hadn't done it because you were beholden to the gun lobby. Will you ban handguns, and what is your response to his accusation?
You know something, I have to laugh at that. No gun lobbies ever had to lobby me. I know one thing, there's two things. Invest in our police officers, invest in the gangs and guns division of the police, and give them the tools to go out there and arrest these bad guys. And there's some really bad guys. Once we arrest them, we got to throw them in jail. And not in jail for a day or two and they're back on the street and, you know, hokey pokey, everything's fine. Doesn't cut it. We got to have some serious sentences. You commit a crime with a gun, you're doing the time for a long time. Not what we have now. We need to extend the time that they serve in jail and give them a real deterrent.
Okay, changing. Your government has made $10 billion worth of announcements in the past few weeks. Aren't you just campaigning on the taxpayers' dime?
Well, you know something, we've been building from the day we got in office, right from day one. We're creating jobs. We were also had more housing starts, over 100,000 housing starts. That's more than any government in 35 years. So we've been working from the day we got elected. We're going to continue to work. There's two crises. There's getting stuck in gridlock all day, you know, coming home back and forth. The 413 is going to take a half an hour one way, an hour two ways. For people to get home and get from point A to point B a lot quicker. We're growing. The province is growing by 1 million people every 5 years. That's absolutely staggering. We see a housing crisis. It's very simple, supply and demand. We need more housing to make sure that we level off the cost, or if not, reduce the cost for the hardworking women and men of this province.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.